Right, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector. Welcome to the Healing Cafe. I'm here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of Seattle, Washington. If you're new to the show, let us know where you're from. If you want to share out the show, please do so. This is the Healing Cafe, where read in the description of the video what I come on every Monday morning. Start off with my 30-minute inspirational and motivational show called Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, giving you messages to inspire you, to encourage you, to motivate you, maybe get you living again. Today's message was talking about spiritual growth. When does it happen? Well, it's happening right now for a lot of us. So go back and catch that show, or catch it later this evening on my YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll put that in the comment section as well. So how's everybody doing? We've got some people joining in. Welcome to the Healing Cafe. Again, like I said, if you're new, let us know where you're coming in from. We have people from all around the planet. It's really cool, actually. I'm going to make sure my volume is up, so volume should be good. Just please ask one question per person. This allows me to get to everybody in the queue, and if we get a lot of questions, it creates a longer queue. So if I miss your question, you can just put bump, or my beautiful team that helps me every week, who's on today. Thank you so much for joining me. And let's get started. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. Let's do a little spiritual prospecting for your own spiritual gold. And let's pop this box off, the spiritual box of chocolates, and see what morsels are inside. So good morning, Colleen, one of my beautiful team members that helps me out every week. Thank you for helping me out. Good morning, Mary Lou, one of the top fans. Odith Gomez, good morning to you. Good morning, Mark and everyone. May I get a card for this week? Blessings. You bet. That's what we do. Colleen saying, good, beautiful morning, everyone. Love and positive vibes. Yeah, we need it. I talked about choosing love over fear, and I also talked about what spiritual growth is. And we're going to go through a lot of spiritual growth given the times, unfortunately. So let's get you a card, Otis. I'm going to go with my numerology deck, and we'll kind of see what patterns and trends pop up in today's show. I always find that there's a pattern or a trend. And the first card I picked, look at this, 6. This is about love. So the color of blue and the color of love. And this is also a 6 energy. So this is more, Odith, about self-love, self-care, self-responsibility, if you will. Let me turn my speaker off. Well, we'll keep my speaker on in case I feel called to do some music. But what that is it's the power of love. So choose love over fear this week for you. Okay, Odith. Thanks for being here. Hi, Adriana. Good morning to you. May I have a card regarding health, please? You bet. So let's go to color. I always find that color is very inspirational and healing. I also find one of the, I'm writing my August newsletter for this month, and the title of it is The Best Revenge is Forgiveness. And sometimes we need to heal ourselves by letting go of the past, but also forgiving and moving into that place of forgiveness for ourselves, for others. Especially if somebody's done something horrible to us, we need to forgive, because that helps the transformation, but it also allows the healing process and helps with your health. So the color I picked for you this morning, Adriana, is the color of pearl. The color of pearl says connect with the divine, and you can connect with the divine through the power of prayer. It's a 25 number, so in numerology, the 25 represents the number 7, which is about seeking truth, finding truth, hearing truth, feeling truth. That's what spiritual truth is. That's what spiritual healing is, and that's also what that would actually tie in, Adriana, to today's message, talking about spiritual growth. When does it happen? It doesn't happen when you're on the yoga mat. It doesn't happen when you're sitting on a meditation mat. It happens when you're in a crisis, a health crisis. I hope everything is okay and that you're feeling better. Reminding people that your health is your true wealth, not money to buy stuff to take shit you can't take with you anyway when you pass over. So your health is your true wealth. I just got the exercise mirror. I don't know if you guys have seen that. We've got it in the garage because I thought I was going to go back to working out in the gym, but based on where COVID has taken us, the gyms are going to be probably closed down for the rest of the year. I actually see the country shutting down to some format again, unfortunately, which is going to impact people's livelihoods. It's going to impact businesses. We're going to see a lot of businesses go out of business and not come back, unfortunately. We have a pizza joint here, Pagliano's, that's been in business for 35 years. It's going out of business with a couple of their stores because of COVID. So we got this exercise. It's called a mirror, so it actually looks like a mirror, but it connects to your phone, and then you turn it on. You can do all sorts of different workouts and meditations and stretching, which I need to do more of. But Adriana, for you, get into the power of prayer, which is thought going out, but also get into some form of meditation, which is listening back for that response. All right, I hope you feel better. Thanks for being here. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Morning, Mark. Any insights you're feeling about my journey or where I am within it? Melanie, the journey begins in. The journey of 1,000 steps begins with that single step. So it kind of, what I'm feeling intuitively, where I'm going with this, Melanie, is it kind of ties in today's message, what I was talking about, spiritual growth. When does it happen? A lot of us look for spiritual information, or we look for answers in the external world, and I found that not to be true. You can have great teachers and great inspiration and follow my work and my shows. That's great. But at the same time, the journey about your insights start by going in. So I'd ask, have you gone in? Have you sat in meditation? Have you sat in silence and stillness to hear? Rumi reminds us of that. The more silent and still you become, the more you'll actually hear. And I find that to be a lot of truth to that. So getting out into nature, again, the butterfly does not become the butterfly until it goes through a cocoon phase. It's usually a caterpillar for a long time, then it morphs and becomes a cocoon. Some make it, some don't. And then it emerges after great struggles of sharpening the wings to become the butterfly. So it's kind of the same thing with that spiritual growth. We call it growing pains because not all lessons are fun, right? And not all spiritual growth is unicorns and cupcakes and rainbows. But when you get on the other side of this spiritual growth that I'm talking about, let me get a little comfortable here. Let me move the camera here so I'm not feeling like I'm up here. So when you get past this, and I talked about my own journey of what I went through with death and dying and loss of my brothers and my father-in-law and murder trials and my own health issues, I'm dealing with that. I didn't understand at the time, but I look back at it now as my great metamorphosis and my great transformation, if you will, to put me on the path to do the work that I do today, whether it's psychic or mediumship or intuition or teaching or workshops or radio shows or this type of show. But I can look back at it now and go, wow, that was a great struggle, and it did suck. It really did, Melanie. But keep going, stay the course, this too shall pass. I'm going to give you a thought card to help you with the journey ahead, and the thought card says this, and I'll read it to you. I'll show it to you so you can visually see it. But see where it says, it's kind of like it's the nest, right? It's the eggs. It takes time to grow and to hatch, be a hatchling and be a baby bird. But eventually, the baby bird gets pushed out of the nest, just like in nature. And once you're pushed out, it's a little scary, but at the same time, you learn to fly. And it says this. This is the second card I picked today, and it has the word love in it. So I think we're going to be in today's show a lot of love. It says, I experience love wherever I go. So find the good in people, even though I know it's hard right now given the times, but try to find the love, try to find the good stuff in what's going on, that attitude for gratitude. But I experience love wherever I go. So there you go. And it's also the color green, which is tied directly to the heart chakra, if you will. So thanks for being here, Melanie. Emily says, calling right back at you. Hi, Laura Benoit. How are you? Hi again and good morning. I appreciate a card of your choice. Okay. Good morning, Gabriel. How are you? Heidi, good morning to you. Thanks for being here, guys. Miss Benoit, let's see what we have for you here. And again, if I start to connect, just a reminder for mediumship, if I am connecting with somebody from the etheric plane, somebody from the spiritual world, which means that they have lived a life here, they have gone through the power of death, and they now reside on the other side. I don't connect necessarily the angels or your spirit guides or your ascended masters. These are people that once lived and have memories and love and emotions on the physical plane. So if I do get somebody or I'm picking up on somebody, I'll have you usually call into my business line and we can have a reunion, a conversation with spirit. So Laura, let's go with I am today and see what we get here. Oh, this is kind of a cool card for you. So this is for Laura Benoit. It's the balloon, so I'll read it to you. But look, there's hearts in there. A lot of love today, right, guys? We're already seeing the ripple. This is the third card. It already has some sort of, see the hearts right here? The hearts? But it says here, I allow myself to let go of what needs to be let go. So whatever you're holding on to, it's the old adage, hold on and get dragged, or let go and be free. The choice and your free will is always yours to make. So balloons, balloons, balloons. I'd let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I'd play that, but Facebook would copyright that and then take my show down. So all my music that I play is copyright free, by the way. So let's keep going. Thanks for your question, Laura. Thanks for being a top fan. Thanks for being here. Chrissy, good morning to you from Irving, New York. Welcome from the East Coast. Gabriel says, having a hard time hearing you. Okay, let me turn my volume up. Okay, is that better, Gabriel? Does it sound better? I have a windsock on. Does that make a difference, you guys? Hi, Devin. How are you? I have a windsock on to help with any kind. It's not too windy, so I'll take the windsock off, and maybe that helps with the sound quality. I decided to come outside today and sit below the butterflies, which is about transformations and growth, but also be outside because it's going to be freaking hot here in Seattle. It's going to be in the 90s, like 94 degrees, which is hot for us in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. So for those of you that are from the Pacific Northwest, how cool is the Kraken, our new hockey team? I have 2 seats to the hockey new arena called the Kraken, Release the Kraken. And I was learning a little bit about our history here in the Pacific Northwest. You guys may not know this, but some of the largest Pacific octopus actually live right here in the Puget Sound. And also back in the 60s, they used to have these things called the World Octopus Wrestling Championships, where divers would go out and whoever could find the biggest octopus and bring it in, they would win the championship back in the 60s. So you can look it up. It's literally called the World Octopus Wrestling Championships, and I think the biggest one they found was like 53 pounds. But we have a new, they released the Kraken. If you're not familiar with that, it's our new hockey team, NHL, for those who follow sports. I was excited. I long predicted the Kraken. I was hoping for the Kraken. The whole colors of it, it's fan based. It was created by the fans. The fans wanted this, so it's cool. And even the new arena where they're building it have now changed the arena. It used to be Key Arena here in Seattle, and they've taken that down. It's no longer a corporation-sponsored arena. It's called the Climate Change Pledge Arena. So it's actually focused on climate change. So Seattle's doing some really good things. So thought I'd just share that little bit of information with you, because you got to find some good stuff and positivity of what's going on in the world, right? So if the sound quality is better, let me know, guys. Devin, good morning to you. Good morning, Mark. I have to say to you and to your guest medium a few weeks ago that I did it. Today is my first day. Let me see here. Of my new adventure. Owner of a tanning salon is officially on my resume. Yeah, nice. So, it's that carpe diem, right? It's that carpe diem, Devin, to go out and seize the day. Take that leap of faith. So congratulations. And you were talking about my guest, Gabriel, who came on the show. We're going to have a new guest coming on in August. He hasn't told me his date yet. I'm waiting for him to tell me his date. We'll come on via Zoom like we did last time, and he'll be my special guest in the Healing Cafe in the month of August. So his name is Reg, and he'll be joining us. He's in my spiritual development group, and really great guy, very intuitive, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in the Healing Cafe. So good morning to Rosie. Thanks for being here, Rosie, one of the awesome, beautiful members on my team that help me each and every week. I appreciate you guys. Wendy Galindo, how are you, my friend? Good morning, Mark, everyone. May I get some guidance card and have a great week? You bet. Hi, Lindsay in Vegas. Sound is low. Okay, so hopefully the sound is better. I've got it turned up all the way. I've got my microphone plugged in, so I apologize if the sound is low. I'm kind of talking low today, too, more than usual, because I am outside, and I don't want to overpower my neighbors either. So that might be why the sound may be a little, but it is turned up, and I've taken the windsock off, so hopefully the sound is great. So let's go with you, my friend. This is for Wendy, a guidance card for the week. So Wendy, this is interesting because it's the feeling alone card. So it's the power of 5. The 5 is about being what we call the freedom, love, and adventure in numerology. But there's a feeling of being kind of, it's almost not a bad card to have given the times. The cabin on the river and the light, and the forest and nature and the full moon. Sign me up, actually. Sign me up. So that's kind of what I'm, picking for you. So it's feeling alone, but at the same time, Wendy, feeling alone is a great time for that spiritual growth that I was talking about on today's show. When does spiritual growth happen? A lot of times it can be when we're alone in that journey and feeling alone. Spiritualism, I find, especially if you're the black sheep of the family like I was with my own family and where I was raised, I never felt like I fit in. I never felt, I felt alone a lot of times. And choice for me for the week, light and love sent to you. Well, light and love sent to you, my friend April. Let's get you a card. And then Jane, you're on deck. April, I'm going to go with an affirmation card for you this morning. And the card that I'm picking is spontaneity. Spontaneity. And I'll read this to you. I don't expect you to read this, but I always like to show the card so you can get an understanding and a flair. It's also the color green. Color green is tied directly to the heart chakra. But it says this about spontaneity. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is a big quote, end quote, yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hour hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible, and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. So that's spontaneity. So in other words, say yes, April. Say yes. All right. Let's go with another numerology card for Jane, one of my top fans. So say yes, April. Say yes. Synchronicities, 8 and 7. 8 is a manifestation number. 7 is truth. Together that adds up to 15, which is in numerology 6, self-love, self-responsibility, self-care. But what it's also talking about is the synchronicities. So that purple color of spiritualism, but the synchronicities, which I always remind people that Carl Jung talked about synchronicities as meaningful happenings. The analytical mind, the logic mind always wants to take synchronicities or coincidences and just waste them away. I don't teach on that. I actually teach just the opposite. I always teach to embrace that through the power of awareness, because what happens is the spirit world, which is very much a part of our physical world, tries to get our attention through signs, symbols, synergy, synchronistic events, because they no longer have this voice, this vibration, which is really just a vibration off a vocal cord, which we understand as communication in words, right? So when you kind of move past that, there's been several great studies about how the unseen world connects with us. And if you don't believe in an unseen world, whether it's spiritual, I just remind you to go look through a telescope or go look in a microscope, and just based on I always say that you have 3 eyes in life, right? You have 3 eyes, 2 to look, 1 to see, and there's a lot of truth to that. You see a lot of the unseen here, and what you see when you're looking here, you see what's in your physical world. But again, if you've ever dropped down, like I'm a certified diver, when you drop down into the ocean, it's a terrestrial world. It's like being an astronaut. Or when you go up into space, it's like being an astronaut, being into a new environment, new experiences. And again, the telescope is teaching us, the microscope is teaching us, and there was debates for hundreds of years that if you didn't see with the physical eye, it didn't exist, right? Microscope changed all that. We know that there's a world within a world of what is unseen. And so what I'm saying is, that's the same thing for the spirit world. They find new ways through synchronicities and coincidences to connect with us. So there you go. All right. So that was where were we at? That was a synchronicity card. So Jane, I'm with you. Sorry. Hi Michelle. Good morning to you. You need a health card as well. Okay. So Jane, Elizabeth Pryor. Let's get a card for direction. Where do I want to go for direction? Let's go to my oracle deck. That's a good card for direction. Find that North Star, right? That compass, if you will. All right, so the card I picked for you, based on that, is the crown chakra. So that's the chakra that sits right up here on top of the head. It connects from the back of if you go down into the brain, there's this gland right behind the right ear that goes to the center of the brain called the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is a direct outlet between the third eye, the pineal gland, and the crown chakra up here, okay? So what this is, when this card comes up, this is a reminder, Jane, to actually get your own direction, is to actually sit and meditate on it. Visualize it, believe it, manifest it, or the mantra you always hear me say, believe it, see it, not look, see it, achieve it. Believe it, see it, achieve it. And if you just sit and do a meditation, you'll get some direction, because again, I can plant a seed for direction, but I'm just supposed to tell you to find your North Star, because again, I can say something, but it's, I'm not your life. It's your choice. It's your free will and where you want to go. I can give you advice for the journey ahead, and that's what I'm advising, is to sit in some meditation, do some qigong, do some tai chi, do some yoga, quiet the mind so you can actually find your direction, find your North Star, which happens through here, the crown chakra. All right. Hi, Brandy Culver. How are you? We got Lindsay saying, looking for info about my granddaughter. Okay, Lindsay, let me see here. Let me get to Michelle Beckham first. Good morning, Michelle. How are you, my friend? Health card. So a lot of health coming up. with this? I'm going to go to the I am. So I want you to use these words. Very powerful to use your words, because your thought become your words become your actions become your behavior becomes your habits become your destiny. So the card I'm picking for you, old style vintage airplane going over. What's cool? It looks like it's like from like the World War II era. That was kind of cool. You'll see that every day. Okay, so Michelle, with the card I picked for you, I'll show it to you and then I'll read it to you, but it's that string of pearls, right? Sacred geometry up here, string of pearls that goes in a circle, the circle of life, right? Everything is in a circle. We live on a round planet. It's also asking for what you wish for through the genie lamp, but also saging stuff that you don't need to protect yourself and give yourself boundaries. So that tells me from a health standpoint there may be some relationships that are toxic, and I found that one of the most toxic things I've done in my spiritual journey is hold on to people even knowing that there's bad in them, just to try to justify having the relationship. Sometimes you'll find peace, transformations, and of course healing by letting them go. And I always remind people, people that I've had to let go this last year, unfortunately, because of bad behavior, and not from a judgment standpoint. I always tell people, if we're not friends, doesn't mean that you're my enemy, and I want to see you eat. You just don't get to eat at my table of life anymore. That's all that means, because people bring in their luggage and their baggage and their negativity and their opinion and judgment. I don't want to be around that as I get older, because it impacts your health too, right? So what it says here is, it says, I allow myself to manifest all my desires and my wishes, and that's what that card, that's what this thing right here means, my desires and wishes. So I want you to say that with me, Michelle. I allow myself to manifest. Again, if it's here, it's a daydream. What we do to take out of what's here, I always say things are born twice, first in our mind and then what we bring out into our reality. And what this is telling you is to manifest your dreams and desires and then take actions to bring them forth. And that's including your health, because that can have a direct impact on what you do and what your mindset is to help you with your health. All right? So let's follow that string of pearls. Okay. Brandy says, would love anything that comes through. Thank you. Blessings. So Brandy, let me see. Just kind of looking at your name and your picture. Drinking some coffee. I've got some, I did some we got a processor, so I did some apple and celery, and so I'm drinking that for breakfast this morning. All right, Brandy. Brandy Culver. I'm going to go with my Wisdom of Words deck for you this morning. Something is just telling me, it's kind of like the rebirth, if you will, Brandy. It's the phoenix. This is rising from the fire, the ascension, the inner alchemy. The refiner's fire is what it's called too. But it talks about the rise up, the phoenix, and it's in everyone's life at some point our inner fire goes out, and it is then burst into flame by an encounter with another human being. We should be thankful for those people who rekindle our inner spirit. So find somebody to rekindle your inner spirit, if you will, whether it's today's show, hopefully that's rekindling your inner spirit. Nature can rekindle your inner spirit. A new relationship with whether it's a mentor, a teacher, a friend, or a lover, can rekindle that inner flame. We all get older in life, and our flame kind of goes out, especially when we're constantly going through the life lessons and what life is teaching us, and it can really burn us out. But this card represents giving freely, transformation, regenerate, human spirit, and again, that phoenix of just find that inner flame and rekindle it in whatever way you can. All right, song, dance, music, all of that's very great in rekindling the human spirit. And I think with everything that's going on with COVID, with politics, with civil unrest, with protesting for standing up for equal rights for everybody, I think part of that flame is getting a little exhausted and tired, to be honest with you. So this is kind of that self-mastery I was talking about, that we have to find ways to sustain and have self-mastery for what we're going through during these trying times. Okay, so thanks, Brandy, for being here. Hang in there, and again, rise. I'm going to give you that Katy Perry song, comes to my mind, Rise. So check out Katy Perry, Rise. Use that song to help rekindle your inner flame. I'm supposed to give you that song as well. All right, Lindsay in Vegas. Are you actually in Vegas? Or is that just the name? Looking for any info about my granddaughter. When will I see her again? Oh my goodness, Lindsay, you don't look old enough to have a granddaughter in your picture. That if I'm seeing a picture of you. When will I see her again? Let me just kind of tune in to that scenario. So I take it is this your daughter's daughter, or is this your son's daughter? The situation to me feels a little distraught, to be honest with you. That's a word that comes to my mind. I feel distraughtness with the relationship on what's going on. You'll see your granddaughter again, but I have to say, based on everything that's going on, whether it's the relationship or just given the times of COVID and social distancing, or actually even just distance based on where she's at in the world, I want to go into the fall with this question, to be honest with you. I want to go into the fall months, so the number 11 comes up for me, which is the month of November, and the number 10 comes up, which is the month of October. So I want to go to those fall months of September, October, November. But again, I don't know all the scenarios of what's going on, if it's just based on the pandemic, or is this based on actual relationship, the health of the relationship, or distance, or all three combined, right? But you will see her again. I do feel that, but to actually physically see her again, luckily we have technology, right? Think of going through this pandemic back in 1918 when they had nothing. They had no Netflix, they had no internet, they had no phones, they had no FaceTime. Imagine how boring. That lasted for 2 years, guys. That lasted for 2 freaking years, from 1918 to 1920. So imagine how many squares of carpet you had to count, or how much, gardening you had to do during that time. Or, I don't know what they did back then, but I'm sure it was very, very boring and very, very slow. So we at least have technology. So again, Lindsay in Vegas, I don't know if it's based on the relationship, because you have a way to connect with her if the door is open. But again, I feel like the relationship's a little bit displaced, is what I would say. So thanks for being here, and I hope you get to see your granddaughter soon. I hope it works out. Hi, Gabriel. Thanks for being a sharer. So you guys can be a top fan, you can be a sharer, you can be a prospector on the page. So thanks for sharing out, Gabriel. Appreciate that. Feeling a little stuck, would love a card. It's funny, Gabriel, because I've been getting that. I've had a lot of readings over the last week, and I'm getting a lot of that from a lot of my clients, to be honest with you. So Gabriel was on the show a couple weeks ago, did a great job in the Healing Cafe, and he'll be back on later this year doing some more readings with me via Zoom live. And a lot of people are using that same word, to be honest with you, Gabriel, about being stuck. And so this, when that word comes up for me, this is a great time for spiritual growth. You're stuck for a reason. It's almost like you're stuck in the muck, and I always think of the lotus flower, right? The lotus flower grows out of muck and dirtiness, and it's stuck. But at the same time, through that being stuck, there's great times for spiritual growth, great times to have solitude, to ponder, to reflect, to rejuvenate, to rekindle. We just used that word, rekindle, about the phoenix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a thought card to help you. I'm kind of drawn to this card. And sometimes we can feel stuck based on our reflections of our mind loves to make our past come alive in our memories. We can't change that. Just like the right side of the hemisphere of the brain is very great about imagination and creativity, and wants to create a future that's not guaranteed to any of us, and we forget that. So the card I picked for you this morning, Gabriel, says, "My past is over." And this is the sundial right up here, right? This is actually something, this reminds me of something I saw in England at the college, at Arthur Findlay College. They actually have a statue like this, and on top of it is the sundial. You can see the sundial right here. So we actually follow the sun, we follow the stars to navigate our lives. And so maybe just get out and get some sun, get some nice weather into you. That sun can help rejuvenate the vitamin D, be around some flowers or plants to help rekindle that energy. I just find that nature is always great in rekindling and helping us to get unstuck, but also look at that being stuck as a form of spiritual growth and transformation, and why you might be stuck, so you can actually observe and then grow from that, like the lotus flower growing up out of the muck, if that makes sense. So get out and get some sunshine. Some vitamin D never hurts anybody. Hi, Ari. How are you? Kimberly, so good morning. Thanks for being a top fan. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well, given these unprecedented times. Would you please give me a card if you have time? I've got some career stuff coming up. Yeah, I've got time. That's why I do the Healing Cafe. It's all about time, right? We're the only species that measures our life by time. We're the only species that, is all about what's on the watch. So I have plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere, and that's why I do this show. It's my way of giving back, paying it forward. So here's the interesting card I picked for you, Kimberly. I picked the I Allow Myself deck, and this deck is very powerful because it's very important to say these words, not only when you see the card, when I tell you the message, but to say it on your end, where you're at, because your words are positive vibrations, and your words matter. And so the card that I picked, just visually so you can see it, it's that message in a bottle, right? Some of us have had that, that fantasy of finding a message in a bottle full of, maybe it's a love letter or money or a will. But what it says, I allow myself to be my true self at all times. So based on where you're going with your career stuff coming up, it's a reminder for you, Kimberly, to be your true self, your authentic self at all times. Because people, especially depending on what kind of job you're going into, when we interview, it's interviewing for the job you want, but it's also you're interviewing them to see if that's where you want to spend your time, right? Because your time is your greatest commodity while you're here. So pay attention to that as well. But be your true, authentic self. Be who you are is what it's saying. All right, Kimberly. So thanks for being here. Have a great day. Ari saying good morning to everybody. Tanya Hollis, good morning to you. Good morning, Sue Murray. How are you? Britt, Annika, good morning here. So Chrissy says, anything that comes through for me would be great. I'm always in need of some great guidance. Wow. All right, Chrissy, let's get you. I'll go to my numerology deck real quick, and I got a number 33, which is about balance, but it's also talking about communication. So the throat chakra right here, so if you have any kind of throat issues, thyroid issues, a lot of times this is the body's way of saying that you're not speaking your truth. My grandma used to always remind me, a closed mouth never gets fed. And so sometimes you have to speak up even when it's uncomfortable, but it's talking about communication moving forward. Communication, and number 33 is a master number, so it's a teaching opportunity, but it's also a number of balance. Mind, body, spirit, three sides of a triangle, if you will. But this is also the color gold, which is up here in this crown chakra area as well. So there you go, 33. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. Tanya says, looking for anything, cards, etc. on my yoga instructing career. Cool. Well, I was just talking about yoga because, again, spiritual growth doesn't happen on the yoga mat or the meditation mat. It actually happens during chaos, trials and tribulations, pressure. I always say no pressure, no diamond, right? Diamonds are created with severe pressure, and some of us can remain in the charcoal. I'm going to give you a color for that, Tanya. I want you to surround yourself with strong colors of the watermelon and the colors of red, especially as you set up your career as a yoga instructor. But it's the color of watermelon, so it's kind of a lighter pinkish red, I guess. But what it says there, it's talking about having fun with your inner child. It's talking about have fun with this new career. Have fun with creating what you're doing. Don't take everything so seriously, and that would apply, I think, for everybody on today's session of the Healing Cafe. Don't take things so seriously, guys. The mind loves to create and make things more serious than what they need to be. Sometimes we just need to eat some watermelon and go back to our inner child and have fun with what we're developing, what we're creating. Again, another 3 just got pulled up, which is about balance. Again, mind, body, spirit. All right. So watermelon. All right. Thanks for being here. Britt says, I can't stay today, but I just popped into quick. I sent gratitude for your advice a few weeks ago. It helped me to sparkle my spiritual transformation. Thank you, my friend. Well, Britt, thanks for stopping in and saying hi to all of us, and I'm glad that I could help in some way. It's what I do, planting seeds to help people grow to become bigger than themselves eventually. Hi, Janet Batista. How are you? Thanks for being here. Let me get my team some cards as well. Rosie, who's a top fan, but she also helps behind the scenes, both her and Colleen. So I'm going to go with first for Rosie, and then Colleen, I'm going to get you a card as well. I don't know if Jeanette was on. I didn't see her name pop up. So for you, Rosie, there you go. Just breathe. Just breathe. Reflect and build up on your dark side, your light side. It's a balance, right? It's the number 4. We're in the year of the 4. 4 is about being dedicated worker, master builder energy. Just breathe. Just breathe. That's sometimes all we can do, right? Because that's the process of life, the breath we take in. And when we exhale, we just say, and so it is. So just breathe. Listen to that song from Faith Hill that may come up too, talking about just breathe. So there you go. For Colleen, she never asked for a card, but I'm going to give her a card because she always helps me behind the scenes. And then we've got Sue Murray. Sue saying, happy, gorgeous Seattle summer day. I went to Snoqualmie River yesterday for a recharge and a cleanse. Oh, I love that. Yeah, especially getting out of nature, right, Sue? So Colleen, real quick, because, again, I've got a team behind the scenes that monitors the comments, any kind of trolls, any kind of bullying. And just as a reminder, if you show up in here in the Healing Cafe, all are welcome. I believe in free speech, but I also believe that your words can come from a place of kindness, caring, and compassion. So if you're a troller, you're a bullier, you want to come in and create disruption, you'll be asked to kindly leave the Healing Cafe because we don't want that here. We don't need it here. We're especially in this day and age as we try to move forward with becoming human beings of one. So the card that I picked for you, Colleen, is the Mary Poppins on a motorcycle card. And it's fun because it talks about playfulness. So Colleen, this week I want you to be playfulness. And what it says here is it says, I am playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. The lady really knows how to party. So there you go. So be Mary Poppins on a motorcycle. Just a spoonful of medicine, or a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. The medicine go down. You guys see Mary Poppins 2? It was actually really well done. Not as good as the first Mary Poppins, which I really enjoyed. I'd seen it on Broadway. All right, let's get to Sue Murray. Would love a card for the week. I'm just playing some music just to kind of help keep my energy up here, so bear with me. So Sue, we'll get you a card. Hi, Joan. How are you? From Ireland. Awesome. Thanks for coming all the way in from Ireland. All right, so let's pause that. I'd love to play a Mary Poppins song, especially some of the songs from the new soundtrack. The cover is not the book, and the places, what is it? The places where the, give me a sec. There's a great song from Mary Poppins, because I was just thinking of Colleen's card. Soundtracks. I'm going to my soundtrack. I can't play it on Facebook for copyright reasons. All my music is always copyright free. But there's a song, if you want to check it out, it's a really great song from the Mary Poppins 2 soundtrack, and it's called The Place Where Lost Things Go. So when we lose things, there's a portion of the movie where they talk about when we misplace things, that they must go to the place where lost things go, or when somebody dies and moves into the spirit world, the place where the lost things go. We can always find them again. But it's that song and A Cover Is Not the Book are two great songs from the Mary Poppins 2 soundtrack. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys real quick if you want some new music. All right, let me go back to my royalty-free music playlist. What's some of this? Here, let's get some. Here's a song I was playing this morning, kind of a newer song I just downloaded. It was kind of fun. It was kind of a disco. Makes you want to dance. So Sue, we'll get you a card here in just a sec, and then Joan from Ireland. I gotta keep my energy up so I can do this, right? All right, so let's go numerology for you, Sue Murray. Thanks for being a top fan. Thanks for being in the Healing Cafe this morning with me as I'm outside on my beautiful patio here in Seattle, Washington, where it's going to be a gorgeous summer day. So the number 5. Get out and do what you just did. To be honest with you, the universe is confirming what you needed to do on the Snoqualmie River yesterday. I bet it was pretty cold though, right? Did you actually go in the river? But it's talking about, so this color is that color of transformation, that turquoise, which always reminds me of the butterfly, caterpillar to the butterfly, if you will. But it's talking about change for you, Sue. There's change coming for you, so be open to that. And again, it's a reminder that the only thing consistent in life is change and the changes we go through. Are you going to be a big wave surfer and be on top of those big waves of change, or are you going to be underneath them and get pounded and be the victim? I hope not. I hope that you'll be a big kahuna, big wave surfer, and surf those changes that are coming for all of us. And again, there's some changes coming, guys. The weeks and months ahead are going to be very interesting. I'm not a doom and gloom guy. I'm not a doom and gloom psychic prediction, end of the world kind of crap. In fact, I was going to read in a poem about the apocalypse that somebody posted that I thought was very meaningful. So I'll get to that here as well. So I want to remind myself to read that poem about what apocalypse is, because I've been doing a lot of readings and people keep asking me, Mark, is this the end of the world? Like, no, the world will survive. It may be the end of humans because humans can't figure their shit out, can't get together, to come together as one. But the Mother Earth will always survive. So humans, we'll wait to see. How's that? But it's also about me just being a realist. That there's still some stuff that's going to happen in the days ahead. But in order to move into transformation, it's usually preceded by chaos, agitation, that kind of energy, and then you get through that storm. And again, to get your sailor's legs, as we used to do, your sea legs as a sailor, smooth seas never created a strong sailor. It's the storms that create the strong sailors that give you the sea legs. So, all right. So, did I just do your card? Yeah, change for Sue. Joan, greetings from Ireland. Would love a card drawn to me. Yeah, let's get you I'm going to go to a thought card for you. And this is cool. It just says, life, support me. And sometimes we just need, with everything going on over sometimes we just need life, which I always remind people, life is an acronym. Learn it from experience. So life, support me. Growth, plant those seeds that have been planted. It takes time, patience, and trust and dedication to grow something bigger than ourselves. So that's what I would say for you today, Joan, is allow the patience and growth to continue. Stay the course, in other words. Stay the course. This too shall pass. All right. So, Joshua, how are you, my friend? Thanks for being here. Bernadette, good morning to you. Joanne Harmayer, hello, Marc. Would love a card for the week for this direction and answers. Hi, Nita. How are you, Nita? So let me get to Joanne here real quick. I'm going to go to the I Allow My deck. So again, you want some direction. And I always remind people the power of thought and the power of words are very important in creating reality. Your focus determines where your reality is. And so if you're looking for direction, look at that. I just talked about your focus determines your reality. And look at the all-seeing eye. So this card, and I'll read it to you. It's just I want you to get the visual of what the card represents. But again, it's that focus for your direction and answers. And it says this for you, Joanne. I allow myself to be happy with all aspects of my physical being. And again, sometimes we need to allow ourselves to be accepting of our physical being because we're a spiritual, energetic being first that has come here to have a physical experience. And again, sometimes we lose focus of that because we're so focused in our careers. But your career is temporary, guys. I know we need to make money to survive and pay our bills, but at the same time, we're the only species that pays to live here. And I think, and I feel, and I know where we're going with everything that's going on from the coronavirus to politics to universal health care. There's big changes that are coming for how we do things moving forward, which is really cool. Oh, another plane. This is a seaplane. This is the famous seaplane that flies all over Seattle and gives you the tours. And it's flying right over my house. It's kind of cool. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Your focus, Joanne, determines your reality. So, yes, I can finally hear you. Okay. So, Nita, may I have a card, please? Yeah, let's go to, and let me know that you guys are still on by sending me a heart or a like so I know that you're still on. So, Nita, if you're on, just send me a heart or an angry face so I know, or, just so you can carve out who's still on. Because I don't see everybody who's on. I see a number, and the number fluctuates between 30, 40, 20, so it just depends on who's on. So I picked the color orange for you today, Nita. The color orange is talking about nurturing yourself. So this is a great time, especially with warm weather, depending on where you're at. If it's too hot, don't go out. Of course, we have to think about the stress index of heat or heat stroke, as we like to say, especially on hot days. So we actually have a warm weather advisory because it's going to be like 94. And so people love, especially when it's hot, Sue was talking about going to the Snoqualmie River, which is really ass cold. It's like a glacier water running from the mountains. So people think it's hot outside, and then they go jump in the Puget Sound, and it's really cold, guys. I dive in the Puget Sound, and it's really cold, which can cause some difficulties with health. So be careful out there on these hot days if you're in the Seattle area. So, but nurture yourself. It's a 1 and a 6, which is 7, Nita, and the 7 is about spiritual truth, finding truth, seeing truth, hearing truth, etc., etc. So I hope that makes sense. The color of orange for you. All right. Bernadette says, would love a card on some direction with my relationship with my husband. Okay, well, relationships are lessons and blessings. I'm going to go to the I Allow Myself. Oh, interesting. All right. So, I'm just the messenger. Remember that, Bernadette. I'm just the messenger. The card is about the mouth, the lips, the voice. And what the card actually says, the direction, where you're going with the direction with your relationship with your husband, it says, I allow myself to speak my truth. I allow myself to speak my truth. So I've given you the card. I've said the words here. Now I want you to say it on your end. I allow myself to speak my truth. And so based on your relationship with your husband, sometimes we have to speak our truth because when you're not and you keep it in or you keep it pent up, if you're not speaking your truth, that actually can then, your body can take that on at the cellular level and create all sorts of health problems, anxiety, depression, stuff that you don't want. So make sure to be authentic and express your truth. But remember that the words of honey go a lot farther than the words of vinegar. So remember to, when you are speaking your truth, try to be mindful of how you deliver your words and not have the sharp tongue, if you will, because that'll be more receptive to him to hear that. So that's what I have for you today. So I hope it goes okay, but express your truth. Chrissy says, how are you today? Would love a message today. Chrissy, I'm doing okay. I carry it really well, but it's also a burden at times. It can be quite a heavy burden to know what's coming, the things that have already unfolded from what I've seen from my psychic predictions in January. So at times it weighs on me because I hope that we'll be better than what we're doing, that we'll be Americans, and that we'll come together, because I do see the great coming together eventually. But before we get there, there's going to be some real trying times with democracy, with politics, with voting, with people and people's opinions, world events. This COVID is going to get worse, unfortunately, here in the United States, because it's now inside. It's going to implode everything, unfortunately. And I reminded people months ago that the second wave is usually more dangerous than the original outbreak. We learned that from history past, but free will and choice, right? People have a choice to either wear a mask or wear a ventilator. That choice is theirs. Darwin is kind of stepping in with this whole thing, but it makes me sad. It kind of weighs on me that we could have done this differently. I've always, for 25 years of being in healthcare, we've always practiced planning and prevention, and how we got to this point. We know how we got to this point. History will reflect on how we got to this point. But it's sad because there's people that are passing or in the hospital that didn't need to be, including, I even just found out some friends of ours were exposed, and some friends of ours' family, actually, her mother-in-law has been in the hospital since June. She's been in the hospital for like 25, 27 days. That's not good. And that's right here in Seattle. So I'm doing okay, Chrissy, but let's get you a message. You got to stay positive. You got to stay in love. You got to stay focused on what the future is going to hold for all of us. And I'm going to go to my Oracle deck based on you for your message today. And again, sadness and isolation. Again, a number 3, which is about balance. And again, Chrissy, I don't know if maybe that's why I was expressing how I was feeling because of the sadness and isolation. But we need to get out of that sadness here, the sadness and isolation here. We need to do something. If you can't get out, then do something within your house that allows you to feel better. Dance, sing, write, meditate, gardening, walk the dog, all of these things. Light a candle to remember somebody, sing a song, read a really good book. These are all things that can help you with that journey of feeling isolated and sadness. You change your thought process, right? Your focus determines your reality. Reading a really good book from the memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant, who was Abraham Lincoln's right-hand man during the Civil War. A friend of ours, really good friend of ours, gave us the first editions from his family library. So I'm reading volume 1 and 2 of that, and I'm also reading The Life of Abraham Lincoln. And I'll be honest with you guys, the times back then are not much different. Yeah, we have technology and our lifestyles are easier, but I'll be honest with you, the politics and the ideologies and the opinions of the time are very much the same as they were during the Civil War, reading these memoirs. So get a book, Chrissy, and really kind of get lost in the book, or a good movie. That's always a good way to just get out of that isolation. So, all right. So Miss Benoit is saying, much love sent your way. You changed lives, Mark, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Thanks for being a top fan. And it's always nice to get that feedback, because sometimes, I've been doing this show for, Metaphysical Mocha Mondays for almost 3 years now. I've been doing Inspired Living Radio for 5 years now. And there are times where, am I really making a difference? Are people paying attention? Do people care? Do people even watch? And I know over time it's grown. And it's not about popularity and my ego or my vanity or anything like that. It's just I want to make sure that I'm helping people and I'm making a difference in people's life, even if it just starts with one person. If I can just, be in service and help, that's what, being a humanitarian and a spiritualist is. And whether it's a psychic reading or a mediumship reading, that's great. That's, how I work. But at times I'm just, if I can help one person in the world, then that's why I show up to do what I do. I can tell you it comes with great judgment, ridicule, and opinion about what I do. But at the same time, you move into your authentic self, and part of spiritual growth is knowing who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, and becoming your authentic self regardless of people's opinions. Because like I said, people's opinions are like eyebrows and elbows, and almost everybody has them, but we know that opinions are one of the lowest forms of knowledge based on the human experience and based on the human condition. So Chelsea saying, good morning, Mark, and everyone. Good morning to you. Melanie says, can I get a card on behalf of my sister Natasha so she can watch the replay? You bet. Thank you, Chelsea, for sharing. So I'm going to pause with Melanie here real quick for her sister Natasha so she can do the replay. I'm going to go deep into my Oracle deck, and the new the card that I picked for this is going to be for your sister Melanie is New Vitality. So this is the rainbow colors. There's something new. This could also be new life. This could be new birth. This could be a new child. But this is called New Vitality, and it's just beginning with number 1. 1 is new beginnings, independence, if you will. So that is for your sister Natasha. could also be based on new health, new belief, spiritual growth, new vitality, based on the colors of the rainbow. So I really want to read you guys. I'll keep going in the queue here, so please be patient. Hi, Freud. How are you? Good morning to you. Hi, Diane. Good morning to you. So Chelsea, I'll get you a card here in just a second, my friend. And thank you for sharing out. Thank you for being a top fan. I appreciate all my top fans. I'm very honored and humbled with the people that show up every week to hang out with me here for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, in the Healing Cafe, or over on my show on Wednesdays, Inspired Living Radio through Om Times Media and Magazine. We have some cool guests coming up, by the way. So I want to read this poem that was shared by a friend of mine, which I really kind of just has stuck with me. So let me read this. Just please be patient with me, and I'll get back to your questions in the Healing Cafe, and then we'll probably do some mediumship here because I do feel Spirit trying to draw close to me to bring somebody through. But this is called Apocalypse, and I want to give you perspective, not doom and gloom, not fear. This is to give you perspective because the practice of spiritualism is the art of shifting your perspective and not just being stuck in your belief system. Because I talked about this a few weeks ago. Cognitive dissonance is when you have this belief system and you're presented with facts, but you don't want to accept the facts because you're so rooted in your belief system that you'll actually fight against anything that is factual. And so the art of spiritualism is the ability to shift your perspective from time to time. And so I've always been taught apocalypse is the end of the world. It's the doom and gloom, the fire, the four horsemen of the revolution, the last chapter in the Bible, Revelation, sorry, because I'm thinking we're kind of in a revolution in a little bit with what's going on in society, but the Revelations, the four horsemen of the doom and gloom. And so that's where that word apocalypse was generated out of biblical. I don't even know if it's actually, I don't know if it's actually in the Bible, so we'd have to check that or research that and source that. I'm not sure. It might be in the Bible, but I don't recall. I don't know if that was a word that was added after the fact. But here's a poem about apocalypse. The moon eclipse is a perfect fit, like life consists of opposites. Attract, resist, the path is split, so Perseus crossed the river Styx. Hero's quest, the Sphinx will test, kings undressed, and Rex incest. Dante's joke in Joseph's coat, some are chose and some invoke. Before the cross, paradise was lost, Pandora's box unleashed by Faust. Knowledge gained proceeds by pain. Some are slain, and some are Cain. They say that myths are just as is. They can't exist, and there is no script. But some can flip their unconscious switch, reveal the truth like apocalypse. And so if you guys know some of what I just read, so Perseus crossed the river Styx, or Dante's joke in Joseph's coat, or before the cross, paradise was lost, or some are slain and some are Cain. These are all, some are biblical references. Pandora's box unleashed Faust. Faust was the devil. These are the stories of past, and this was a poem put together. And what the definition of the apocalypse is, late 14th century, revelation, disclosure. It actually comes from the Latin church of apocalypsis, which means revelation. And from Greek, it's called apocalyptine, which means uncover, disclose, or reveal. And so I wanted to read that poem about apocalypse because people in their mind, and again, religion is responsible for this, and the stories, Hollywood and religion, the stories have told of what the apocalypse is. But when you really break down the root cause from the Latin, breakdown of it, or the Greek breakdown of it, it is talking about revelation, disclosure, the great disclosure, uncover, disclose, reveal. Some of you that follow my work, I've been talking about full disclosure, which is, if you don't know what full disclosure is, when I did my psychic predictions in January on my podcast, January 8th, where I talked about the roaring 20s, how we're going to roar into the 20s pretty significantly, you're always going to have people that either call you crazy and some call me for advice, right? I just accepted that for what it is and what I do. But one of the things that I saw for the great coming together, but also the apocalypse or the great reveal, is what we would call full disclosure, and that's actually finally publicly announcing that we are not alone in the universe. Now, I don't look at it as little green men showing up on the White House lawn to blow the White House up like an Independence Day, but there's a drip format of information that's starting to come out that is actually being picked up by not only the mainstream media, but actually confirmed by Pentagon government officials, which I've never seen before in my journey, and I've been with the federal government for 20 years. But to have pilots, ex-Navy pilots, coming out and being interviewed saying, yeah, what they saw was not made of this earth, did not fly, or they're not aware. Maybe our nemesis out there have some new technology, but we're not aware of this technology or this type of material or this type of navigation or aviation that can do what it does. It's been interesting to watch some of this information kind of coming out. I had somebody the other day to say, stop posting that because it's a big agenda to something else, and I don't agree with that, because I've been following the science behind this on the full disclosure. And if you don't know what full disclosure is, just type in full disclosure or hashtag full disclosure. You can also type in element 115. We've been looking at element 115, which is not an Earth element that only just became part of the periodic table officially back in 2016. Where did this element come from, right? And if you look on a chart of how we've progressed over time, we've had little bumps of historical significance, the light bulb, indoor plumbing, electricity. But then right around the late 30s, early 40s, we have this cliff effect with technology going pretty graphically, scientifically up. What caused that? And I firmly believe that we have information, we have knowledge, we reverse engineer something that's not of this planet. And what's the latest news? That the Pentagon is officially going to announce over time here that they are in fact in possession of materials not made of this planet, including vehicles not made of this planet. So what that does is, from a perspective standpoint, it changes everything overnight. If it's officially, a lot of us already know that to think that we're the only species in the galaxy, that this universe that is mathematically incomprehensible, to think that we're the only intelligent species on one planet in one solar system, it's pretty arrogant. It's a lot of vanity. It's a lot of ego. It's pretty naive too, to be honest with you. I have long believed that we've had contact. We've had first contact. I believe that we have information that has helped with our technology of what we do today. And what you're starting to see is the mainstream reporting. And that's what I pay attention to. I pay attention to mainstream reporting, cable news. And when I start to see stories are getting picked up, that tells me that the cat's out of the bag, that it's only just a matter of time. And again, this would tie into what this year is. This is the year of the 4, the master builder, the dedicated worker. But also, if people are saying this is the apocalypse, the poem I just read to you, the apocalypse, the word itself literally means uncover, disclose, reveal, or lift the veil. And it would tie into what I've seen of the Great Coming Together. Maybe the Great Coming Together is not based on the human population. Maybe it is Star Trek. Maybe it is Spock with coming down and live long and prosper. Star Wars. We'll find out, right? Where we're going with all this. But I wanted to read that poem about apocalypse because, but some can flip their unconscious switch and reveal the truth, like apocalypse. And it's all about switching your truth. Go to my Facebook page. The Intuitive Prospector. I've posted some stories there for you to just decide on your own. Like I said, I can only plant seeds. I can't make you believe what I believe. But if you follow the science, and I follow the science and the spiritualism and the metaphysics of full disclosure and alien information, and it's very overwhelming. It's very interesting. And again, the search element 115. I've been following that for 20 plus years, and even follow Joe Rogan's podcast. He just had his latest podcast. He had some very interesting guests off. If you follow Coast to Coast AM Radio, which is a fantastic show of metaphysics and spiritualism and psychic and UFOs and Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch, all the things that that we're curious about, go listen to that podcast because they present some very revealing scientific information that really makes you go, okay, maybe this is the apocalypse of the great reveal, the great disclosure. So thought I'd just share that with you. Thanks for allowing me to share that poem with you. I don't know who actually wrote it. It's not. It was posted by a friend of mine. I always like to pay my respects and kudos to who actually published it, but there's no name on it, unfortunately. So whoever wrote it, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, so let's continue to go. Diane, how are you? Good morning from Mississippi. Mississippi. I love saying that. Are you still on, Diane? Diane. Send me a heart or a like so I know that you're on. We kind of stopped there. Good morning, Kirsty, to you. She's saying good morning, Marc and team. Good morning to you. Diane. apologies. I am outside, so you have to bear with me when I'm outside the studio. I don't have the same environment. So I put a windsock. So Colleen, let me know if that makes a difference. A lot of wind interference. It was a little bit windy here. So the windsock is back on, so hopefully that helps. So Diane Mathern, if mom is in the spirit world or you've got a connection to somebody named very similar name to you, Diane or Diana, or your middle name, if you could let me know or call in, that'd be great. Or put in a comment in the section so we can just honor those in the spirit world that's trying to connect to you. She's talking about your hair too. I'm really drawn to your hair. Okay, so for the meantime, let's get you a card since I don't have a phone call coming in. But I've got a lady waving from across the Mississippi. Much better. Thanks, Colleen. Thank you. I appreciate the logistics of it, the sound quality of it. So this is for Diane, the number 7, which is about seeking truth, spiritual truth, but it's talking about personal growth as well. I talked about spiritual growth given the times of what we're in, but also the personal growth that comes from this. And again, I'm very drawn to a woman in the spirit world for you because she's waving from across the Mississippi River at you, and she's talking about your hair, and there's something about Diane or a very similar name, energy about what she's trying to say. But again, I feel like that message would come from her as well about the personal growth and what you've gone through or what you've released over the last year and a half, 2 years. So Diane, if you want to call me, you can. If not, 206-588-0661. That is my business line here for the Intuitive Prospector here in Seattle. If not, just post a message and that'd be great. Any message or guidance or song? Ooh, Kirsty, I love your thinking. Yeah, let's go with a song for you, my friend. Hi, Lori, how are you? Kirsty Chandler. Well, it's interesting, Kirsty, because you said any message or guidance or song, and the first song I'm actually drawn to for you, Kirsty, is I feel like I've got a gentleman in the spirit world. This gentleman feels, to be honest with you, I feel like I've got 2 gentlemen for you. I feel like I've got a father, and I feel like I've got a brother or uncle, like if it's an uncle that was like your favorite uncle or your father, but I've got 2 gentlemen here, and they're both singing Margaritaville. So I've got a lot of Jimmy Buffett energy, a lot of Jimmy Buffett songs. I'm seeing a lot of fun with these 2 gentlemen. So hold on, Kirsty. Kirsty, let me see what we have here. Good morning. This is Marc.
Marc, this is Diane from Mississippi. How are you?
Hi, Diane from Mississippi. I am good. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine.
So, did you just see my guidance card that I gave you?
I did.
About personal growth?
I did.
Do you understand a mom in the spirit world for you?
Oh, yes, I do.
And do you understand the name being very similar to yours, or the pronunciation of your name and her name being similar?
Not that.
Okay. What's the connection with your name to her then? Diane. Because I feel like I want to tie her name into your name. Like, I don't know if this has been handed down, if it was a middle name of her. There's a lot of just interesting similarities, and maybe because you guys were very similar in nature or very similar in life. But she's waving across the Mississippi River. She's like on the other side of the Mississippi waving at you. So I don't know if she lived in another state across the Mississippi, or she lived outside of Mississippi.
She lived in Arkansas.
Okay, and so I feel, and she's talking about your hair too. So I know that you've done something with your hair recently, because she's talking about you've changed your hair, or you've cut your hair short, or you've done something with your hair.
I've let it grow out a little bit, and I'm getting almost, it looks like it's been frosted. It's natural. I'm getting old.
Yeah, no, you're getting seasoned. There's a difference between them.
Okay.
But that's just her way of coming through from the spirit world, the etheric plane, to let you know that she sees of our world still, and she just wanted to acknowledge the hair and the difference in the hair and what she sees of you. And I also want to talk about, would you understand, Diane, so we don't know where the connection to your mom's name is, because, it sounds very similar to your name, Diane. So unless you have another person in the spirit world named Diane, or you were named after a Diane in the spirit world.
I have 3 sisters.
Okay, but not named Diane.
No, one of them's middle name is Anne.
Diane, okay. Let me see why she's showing me that. But your 3 sisters, your 3 sisters are still here, correct?
No, they're all in the spirit world.
Oh, my. Okay. Okay, let me ask, because, again, it's something about your name that I'm really drawn to. Let me see what else they want to show me real quick. Would you understand a connection, because I'm not getting anything on the name here real quick, but would you understand, Diane, the connection to cornbread or the baking of a certain type of bread with either your sisters or your mom, please?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Okay, because the reason that she's showing me, in my perspective, it's cornbread, but I can smell fresh baked bread, or I can smell cornbread. And
My mama raised 10 kids, and we were raised out in the country.
Okay.
And I am known for my cornbread dressing.
Okay, so there's the cornbread dressing. Okay, I love that. So that's just her way of coming through, just to acknowledge your hairdo, to acknowledge the cornbread dressing. I don't know if I've ever had cornbread dressing, to be honest with you.
Well, you need to come on down to Mississippi and
when this COVID is over, I would be. I have been to, believe it or not, I have been to Biloxi, Mississippi on my journeys.
Well, we're in Gulfport.
Okay, yeah, and
I'm married to a Cajun, so I do all the cooking.
I love it. Well, one day I'd love to come down. Maybe I'll do an event in Mississippi. How's that?
Oh, that would be great. I will be there if you do.
So I want to leave you with the song, and this is a really cool song. So I really want you to take this because this is your mom's way, but also you've acknowledged all three of your sisters in the spirit world, and I know that times you feel alone or you feel like you want to see them again, which is normal in the human experience. But I want to leave you with a Jim Croce song, Time in a Bottle. Are you familiar with that song?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I want you to pay attention to that song over the next few days, whether you play it or if it comes into your reality. But I'm supposed to tell you to listen to Time in a Bottle because time is irrelevant, and time is kind of in a bottle, right? We kind of measure our lives by how many, you had said that you're old, but they're saying you're seasoned. You're not old. And it's kind of like that time in a bottle. So I'm going to give you the Jim Croce song, Time in a Bottle. Okay, my friend?
Thank you very much.
Have
a wonderful day.
You too, and thanks for calling in. I look forward to that cornbread dressing.
Well, anytime you come on, I'll pick you up.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Isn't that cool, guys? Isn't that cool? Just thanks to Diane for calling in from Mississippi and sharing the essence of her mom and her three sisters. Sometimes when I do this live, the reason I do this, it's not to show off. It's not to how good is Marc and his mediumship. It's not that at all, guys. It's about being in service. It's about helping others. I know Diane's going to go the rest of her week tickled that she's going to get a song from her mom, that her mom saw her hair and how she frosted her hair, talked about how she loved her cornbread. I haven't had cornbread dressing, but I look forward to it someday. That's why I do what I do, to show people the power, the intelligence, and the love that still resides as a part of our physical world. And again, that I'm going to go probably listen to that song, Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle. I love that song, so I love that they planted that in my mind to give to Diane. And thank you, Diane, for calling in. So, okay, let's catch up. So, Kirsty, the song, going back, Lori, you're on deck. Kirsty, does the song, again, I got a lot of Jimmy Buffett, so I don't know if you've got a father figure. I feel like this gentleman in the spirit world for you, Kirsty, he kind of looks like Jimmy Buffett, to be honest with you, his descriptions, his mannerisms, and I feel like I've got two gentlemen in the spirit world for you, Kirsty. So I keep going between uncle and brother, but I also feel like I got dad here. So I feel like I got dad, brother, and uncle. A lot of male energy around you. And again, you asked for a song, and I'm getting Margaritaville. I'm getting Fins from Jimmy Buffett. And I feel like there's a description or a similarity to Jimmy Buffett here. Even the clothes that Jimmy Buffett would wear with like the boat shoes and kind of the button-down shirts, kind of like what I'm wearing, kind of loose-fitting clothes, very relaxed type of energy here when I'm feeling with you, Kirsty. So if that makes sense, feel free to give me a call and confirm it or put a message in the comments board that makes sense or doesn't make sense. You can tell me no as well, guys. You don't have to tell me yes every time. It's just, trusting my intuition when I'm picking up. So so that's the song I have for you is Margaritaville or Fins from Jimmy Buffett. All right, so Rocco, good morning to you. Lori, let's get you a card, my friend. I'm going to go with my numerology deck, and I've got New Beginnings for you, Lori Brood. New Beginnings, the number 1. New Beginnings. There you go, New Beginnings. So color orange, which is a very creative color. It's just beginning. So pay attention to that for the week ahead. Say yes. When new beginnings happen, you have to say yes. You have to have free will and choice, but you also have to say yes, and you have to make an intention to follow that. Even if you're scared or you're not confident or leap of faith, say yes. All right, Rocco, thanks for being a top fan. Hi, is it Ashley? Ashley, okay. Hi, Ashley. Rocco, let's get you a card, my friend. Let's go to affirmations for you. Fun affirmations. So, Rocco, this is for you. This is ultimate potential. So, hold on, let me get the phone. Hello, this is Mark.
Hi, Mark. It's Kirsty.
Hi, Kirsty. How are you?
Good. Thanks.
Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Vancouver, BC.
Vancouver, BC. Okay. So, Rocco, hold the line here. I'm going to get you your card here in a second. So, do you understand when you asked me for guidance, I was actually drawn to the Margaritaville song by Jimmy Buffett. But do you actually connect with a father, brother, or uncle, or all three in the spirit world for you, please?
I have a father, and my brother is here, but my uncle has recently passed, and I've been around his siblings, so he is their brother. They keep talking about brothers.
Okay, so that's why we're getting the father, uncle, and brother mannerisms because of your recent experience with his siblings, which is
correct.
Which would be brothers, but your uncle. Okay, so would you understand the likeness of Jimmy Buffett, or why I'm seeing a lot of Jimmy Buffett around your dad, or even the relaxed clothing, or just the relaxed style of mannerism?
Absolutely,
with him?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, and would you understand the name? Is there an actual connection to Jim or Jimmy?
Oh, yes, if it's his other brother. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness sakes.
Yeah, so that's because when they come through with messages, it can have a couple different meanings, and people just get locked into one meaning, but it can actually have a couple different meanings. So even though I'm seeing Jimmy Buffett, and you asked for a song, it's his way of coming through to acknowledge a Jim or Jimmy as well. Have you ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert?
Not that I recall, Mark. Sorry.
No, that's okay, because I just feel like you'll have an opportunity to connect with Jimmy Buffett somehow, some way. This is more psychically because it hasn't happened yet, but I feel like if there's an opportunity after this COVID is over, that if there's an opportunity to go to a Jimmy Buffett show or a Jimmy Buffett concert, especially if he comes up to Canada. Was that Vancouver, Canada, or Vancouver, Washington?
Yeah, Vancouver, Canada.
Canada. If there's an opportunity, do it. And again, pay attention to the Jimmy Buffett songs, specifically Margaritaville and Fins. Were coming up from your dad. Now, is there also a connection to boating or sailboating? Because he shows me boat shoes.
Yes, I can accept that as well.
Okay, so again, that's just kind of what he's wearing. It's what he's showing. Not that he's wearing clothes on the other side, because I don't think you need clothes on the other side. But he's showing me from the other side that he would have the boat shoes, the relaxed fitting clothes like Jimmy Buffett wears, very laid back. And again, his message for you today is just talking about not sweating the small stuff. Like, sit back and, like Margaritaville, just relax, get a good drink in your hand. And he's talking about not sweating the small stuff with what you're going through. So I feel like there's been some challenges, and this uncle as well. They're cheering together. So if you look on camera, they're toasting like two big margarita glasses from the other side. And you said he recently just passed.
It's funny because I'm no longer a drinker, but I'm around some people who are enjoying some Margaritaville time, and it's really hard not to participate.
Yeah.
But I just moved, and I just put away glasses that you're describing.
Okay. Well, you can still be a drinker, just have the same drink, just take the alcohol out of it, right? You can still participate. And that's what he's talking about, not sweating the small stuff, so you can still participate in that. But they're just cheering you. And again, if you could let your, I guess this would be your cousins know, your uncle, right? Did I get the relationship right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, because you said that, you just said that he's the one that just passed into spirit.
My uncle passed away recently, and I've been around his brothers and sisters. His brothers and sisters.
So just let him know that he came through today. He's completely fine. He's hanging out with your dad. They're having a good time. Just if you can give that perspective, and again, pay attention to the Jimmy Buffett song, specifically Margaritaville, Fins, or if there's a favorite, Jimmy Buffett song that you have within your heart, you can play that too. Directly connect with him. So
sounds great. I've been listening to all those tunes recently, so that will resonate well. Thank you so much, Mark.
Well, hey, thanks for calling in and sharing the memory of your father and your uncle with us, allowing me just to connect the best way I could today.
Perfect.
And
thank you so much.
Head off to Margaritaville.
Off to Margaritaville.
All right, my friend.
Non-alcoholic Margaritaville.
Non-alcoholic Margaritaville. Cheers.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, so 2 readings today. Very cool information, very evidential information, meaningful information, healing information. That's why I do what I do in the Healing Cafe, guys. So, Rocco, thanks for your patience. Coming back to you. I wanted to show you the picture. It's a giraffe listening to some music, but it says this. It's called Ultimate Potential for you. It says, I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishments. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I ever have tuned into anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. Smooth jazz and talk radio. All right, so let's press play. Let's see here, play. All right, we'll keep going. Sky, good morning to you. How are you, Sky? Good to see you. Thanks for the heart and the like. I appreciate that. Ashley would love a message. Okay, Ashley Nelson, are you still on? We've got about 20 people hanging out still in the Healing Cafe. How long have we been going? Oh, it's almost 10, so we've been going for an hour and a half. All right. And just want to let you guys know that I do have somebody special coming in the month of August. It's going to be joining me via Zoom. We'll be presenting via Zoom here in the Healing Cafe in August. Looking forward to having him on. And again, for those that are part of my Tribe Weekly for Spiritual Development Group, you know that the invitation is always open to come on and join me here in the Healing Cafe to do live readings, whether it's mediumship, psychic, intuition, awareness, encouragement, inspirational, all of the above. What I like to say is spiritual awesomeness. So, Ashley, let's go with a I allow myself. Again, I feel like you need some words to I was going to say, you need some words to express yourself, and look at the card that I pulled. So this is the card. This is the visual aspect. This is a kind of like lots of color and, art and artistic, art deco kind of, colors. But it literally says, I allow myself to express myself. So when I was saying, I feel like you need to express yourself, that's the card I literally pulled. And I have, today I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 decks down here with me. And I just reach over and I grab a deck and I pull from that. So that's kind of how I work in the Healing Cafe. But express yourself. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. But yeah, express yourself. How can I already be at low battery? Okay, well, I've been going for about an hour and a half. So let me. Okay, I've got 20%. All right, so that means that's kind of my timeline, I guess, right? So, guys, make sure to join me on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please get on my YouTube channel. Get on my Instagram channel under either Marc Lainhart or Inspired for Us. That's the number 4. Because I'm going to be trying to do some spiritual takeout later this week, and including doing some chipping, just so you can see. Let me turn my camera around. There's a little golf. You can't really see it here, but I'm going to be doing some chipping for my golf game, because I've been practicing my golf game. Because what else do you do when you're in quarantine? And I'm going to be giving free readings away. So if I actually putt into one of the 3 colored bowls, there's 3 colored bowls. There's a green bowl, a blue bowl, and a orange bowl. And if the ball hits one of those, that's going to be, each bowl is going to represent a free reading based on time. And if the ball goes into the bowl and stays in the bowl, then you'll get a free 30-minute reading with me. So I think that's valued at like $160. So with my readings, so it's a fun way, but I only do that. I'm going to do that on my YouTube channel or my Instagram channel. So make sure to follow me over there, because I do a lot of stuff on Facebook already with Metaphysical Mocha Mondays and Healing Cafe, Inspired Living Radio. And again, follow me over on my Inspired Living Radio Facebook page. Join the global community where you'll get feeds for the live shows. Oh, there's a squirrel. Look. You guys see him? That was your totem animal spirit today. So his name is Jedi, and he's a very friendly squirrel. Oh, yeah, getting that itch. Got to get that itch. Got to get that nut. So that's your totem animal spirit for this week was Jedi. That's his name. So thought I'd just show you that to you. But it's going to be over on my Instagram channel or my YouTube channel called Spiritual Takeout, and then my Facebook page, Inspired Living Radio, which is through Om Times Media and Magazine, which is my live podcast through Om Times Radio, internet radio, so you can listen to it from anywhere in the world. No password needed, no username needed. And I'm very honored and humbled to have some of the guests that I have on my show, because I have some very well-known people that are reaching out to me to want to be on the show. And it's really cool because we have some really cool topics where we like to say, be inspired, inspire others, inspire before you expire. So join me over on that Facebook page as well. Become an inspired listener to the global community. All right. Chelsea saying, sending love to all of you. I love that. Hi, Jane. Elizabeth Pryor. Makes sense. Thank you, Marc. Good. I'm glad that makes sense to you. April, I did get you a card, my friend, so you have to go back and watch the replay because I don't want to alter the message or have a different message that might conflict with the first message I gave to you, April. But I did get to you, so this will be on my Facebook page when I'm done, but you can also go over to my YouTube channel and you can catch Metaphysical Mocha Mondays recap. Those get uploaded later tonight. So Lindsay says, yes, I am. You're in Vegas. Okay, so I'm kind of catching up to the messages. Hi, Heidi. Loving the sounds of nature in the background. Yeah, it's just cool to be outside, right? It's hot. It's going to be really hot. I thought, I don't want to sit up in my studio today, and I wanted to check the sound quality and make sure I could still do all this down here. So thanks, you guys, for being here. Good morning, Wendy. You're welcome, Kimberly. Kathy Blackburn Walden, are you still on, my friend? Let me know if you guys are still on. Vicky Curtis, you still on? Vicky Curtis and or Kathy. Are you guys both still on? If you can send me a bunch of hearts simultaneously, then I know that you're still on. If not, I'll continue on in the queue. Because what happens when I read a poem or when I stop to do mediumship, and when I stop to do mediumship, the queue continues getting longer, and then I have to catch up because I'm doing a live reading, which I did 2 already with some wonderful people, wonderful relationships in the spirit world. Yes, Kathy, you were still on. Yeah, okay, thank you. Let's go with, this is for Kathy Walden. I'm going to give you a power card today, and this is what it looks like. This is from Louise Hay, actually. These are the power thought cards. And what it says is, I listen with love to my body's messages. I listen with love to my body's messages. So listen more, speak less. Listen to what the body's trying to tell you. A lot of love today. I got a lot of love messages in the cards and in the readings. But it's saying, listen with love to my body's messages. So listen to your body, Kathy. What's your body telling you? And thanks for being here. Hi, Chrissy. Chrissy, are you still on? Chrissy Montour? Montour? Am I saying your last name right? Bunch of hearts, please, or a bunch of likes? Or Vicky Curtis? What direction for job direction? Lots of likes or lots of hearts for either one of you? Okay. So, Chrissy, you send me the likes. Vicky, you send me the hearts. Then I can distinguish who's still on and who's not. Vicky, okay. I think it was Vicky. All right, Vicky. So we'll jump down to you. I'm going to go with my numerology deck today, and I got the forgiveness card. So I always say that revenge is the best revenge you can have is forgiveness. I am writing on that my article this month about the best revenge is forgiveness. So I really want you to move into an attitude, Vicky. This is for Vicky Curtis. Move into an attitude for forgiveness. And again, the 9 is completion, and the 6 is self-love, self-responsibility. So again, move into that forgiveness energy for whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's what's going on in your life, forgiveness for your past. I always have to remind my clients and my students that your history, your past, is a life lesson, not a life sentence. Okay? So thanks for being here, Vicky. Chrissy, were you still on? Bunch of likes, Vicky Montour. Chrissy Montour, are you still on? Nope. Okay. Continue on. Oh, wait. I saw okay. So, Chrissy, I'm going to actually send... Okay, thank you. I'm going to actually read from my book here, which is a lot of fun. This is called The Complete Life's Little Instruction Book. So, Chrissy, for your message today is... don't use time or words carelessly, neither can be retrieved. So that's a reminder to all of us, right? Don't use time or words carelessly, neither can be retrieved. So again, once that word goes out, you can't take it back. So that's where the tongue can be very sharp. So there you go. Tanya says, wow, everything you just said and what life has been bringing to me, and you're completely correct. Thank you so much. Fun has actually shocked me a little, but you are absolutely correct with that. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. You're welcome, Tanya. You're welcome, Rosie. Hi, Erica. Hassan, how are you? Catching the tail end of this. Well, better late than never, right? Hi, Lat Lee. Where you been hiding, Lat Lee? I haven't seen you in a while. So thanks for being here, Erica. Let me know if you have a question or you want to read. Lat Lee is one of my top fans. I haven't seen your name pop up in a couple weeks, so you must have been off doing fun stuff in life, and I hope you're doing well. You're in the UK. more power to you. One card for me, please. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Len. I'm going to go back to my colors for you over there. I know UK is kind of a similar situation. We're in a worse situation now, obviously, with COVID and the pandemic blowing up. Again, planning prevention, something I've taught on 25 years in healthcare. So what I picked for you this morning, Lat, is the color of mauve. So this is kind of the color of between lilac and purple, if you will. The number is a 4 and a 3. So the 4 represents dedicated work. The 3 represents balance. Together that adds up to 7, which is a spiritual number of truth and finding truth. But it also says to enjoy clear hearing. So what you can do, Lat, when it comes to clear hearing, we call that clairaudient, the ability to hear. Kind of like when I do my mediumship. When you guys see me do my mediumship, I'm not actually hearing their voice, but I kind of sometimes do hear their voice, or I hear a song playing off in the distance. That's called clear hearing. And we can get to better clear hearing by quieting the mind, quieting the distractions in our external environment. So clear hearing for you this afternoon for you, because I know it's afternoon there in the UK, and the color mauve, if you will. So, hi Gina, how are you? I would like a card. Am I feeling like I do go right or do I go left? I'd say go right down the middle. Get rid of the left or the right. Go right down the middle, what we call homeostasis. So I'm going to go back to my little life instruction book for you to help you with your navigation. Do I go left or do I go right? Let's see here. Let's go to protect your enthusiasm from the negativity of others. Catch up on the best sellers by listening to books or a tape in your car. So I picked that off a random page out of my little book. But what I want to take a little bit deeper for you there, Gina, because you're trying to find the answers of going left or right. When you pay attention to music, when you pay attention to books, when you pay attention to songs, I want you to really go deeper into listening to the words, because what you'll notice if you're open to it, awareness is the greatest agent for change. Eckhart Tolle teaches us that. But when you listen to movies or you listen to songs or you read a book, you start to see a pattern of the same words emerging. In numerology and metaphysics, I watch as the power of 3. So when you get 3 confirmations, it'll come in either 3 the same way or 3 different ways. When you get that power of 3, which is a universal number, and it's about balance. When you get that, you literally ask, believe, receive, perceive on what you want to do. Do I go left? Wait for your 3 responses, or do I go right? Wait for your 3 responses. But pay attention this next week of the movies you're taking in, the books you may be reading, or the songs you're listening to. But listen to the words, the lyrics deeper, because the meaning is, the words are there, and if you keep hearing the same word over and over again, there you go. It's kind of like working with the universe in your physical reality to make choices. So, hope that makes sense. Hi Amber, how are you? Joanne says, thanks, that makes so much sense to me. Hi Amber Lewis, are you still on? Amber Lewis, if you're still on, can you do a random hit of hearts? Random hit of hearts. Heart. For Amber Lewis, if you're still on. I'm looking for the hearts. I'm a little bit down later in the queue. It's a little bit later in the show. So Amber Lewis. Going once. Bunch of hearts, if that's you. Because you're asking, is there a card for me? And I do have a card for you if you want it, but I need to know that you're still watching. Because we've dropped, our audience has dropped down, which is fine. Okay, so the card I have for you, Amber Lewis, because I just saw some hearts, is this Leap of Faith card. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Amber. All right, here's a Leap of Faith card for you. And what this is talking about, this is a card based on strength, knowing, wisdom, intuition, consider, strength of mind, and recognition. But it's a quote from White Eagle, and it says this: when you are in doubt, be still and allow your soul to lead you. When doubt no longer exists for you, then go forward with courage. So that's what your message is for this week. That's the card, Take a Leap of Faith, knowing that we don't always get to see the other side, but we're not going to get to the other side unless we actually take that leap of faith and have courage to do so. All right, my friend? So there you go. See, I told you I had a card for you, and it's a pretty cool card. Take a leap of faith. You're supported by what's in the physical world, but it was also in the unseen spiritual etheric world as well. All right. I'm down to 10%, guys, of battery here. Hi, Victoria. How are you? So Chrissy says, I've been seeing 3s all day. All right, see, it's interesting. Thank you, Mary Lou. Mary Lou says, you make it different. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gabriel, have a great day. Vicky, hi, first-time watcher. Would love a card. Where are you from, Vicky? Thanks for being here. We love our first-time watchers. Thank you, Victoria Austin, for being a top fan. Vicky, let's get you a card real quick. I'm going to go with my numerology card because you are new to the show. Welcome to the Healing Cafe. Nice to meet you. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. We hang out and have coffee and tea or protein shakes. Or I'm even drinking my celery. I got to mix it up. I'm drinking my celery and celery and apple drink today. I juiced it. All right. Thank you, Colleen. We had a problem with a troll. Blocked Ola Nuri Wanju. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for blocking the trolls. We do get trolls in here from time to time, guys. We get negative comments. We get trollers. It's usually somebody doesn't have something better to do. So thank you, Colleen, for blocking it. Again, all are welcome. I believe in First Amendment rights of free speech, but I also believe that you can be kind and caring and compassionate with your words. And if you're going to be trolling or bullying or negative, we'll warn you, and then we'll actually ask you to leave the Healing Cafe. So, again, I always had to do this on my own, so I didn't always get to see the comments. So it's really nice to have a team behind the scenes. Jeanette, Rosie, Colleen, Mary Lou, if you want to help out. Gabriel, if you want to help out, let me know. All right, so this is for Vicky Davis. Petitros, I hope I'm saying your last name right. I apologize if I don't. But I pulled the completion card for you. So this is a number 9. Number 9 in numerology, we go 1 through 9. So we're in the year of the 4 right now, 2020. Next year will be the year of the 5. So the 9 means that you're coming to some sort of completion with what's going on for you. So embracing completion, but remember, once something completes, once a lesson repeats, or once a lesson completes, or the lesson repeats until it completes is what I'm trying to say. So when the lesson is done, your journey, what you're learning here in life, relationship, career, what we're going through the pandemic, when this completes, that means something new is going to be generated. Something new is going to begin for you, which is really cool. It can be a little scary, but at the same time, completion energy. And let us know where you're from in the world. Thanks for being a first-time watcher, and welcome to the Healing Cafe. Victoria says, I'm having trouble hearing on my phone. I'll have to catch you next week. Okay, no problem, Victoria. I am outside, so that could be part of it. So, yeah, I see Sue Murray messages me accurate reading. Yeah, so there's our troll. I see our troll. So if you guys want to, please, I'm going to block. She has been blocked now. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, I think she's shown up before trying to do, accurate reading. Again, do your own show. Don't come on my show and try to get people to come over. I don't understand it, but welcome to the age of social media, I guess, right, guys? All right. So blocked. Yeah, blocked. Yeah, so Sue, again, I apologize if you're still on. Not cool. Block them. We've blocked them out of the Healing Cafe. I just blocked them as well, Colleen, on my end as well. So blocked him. Okay, so it's a guy. I couldn't tell if it was a guy or a girl. So, all right. Yeah, Lori, Ola, Noriwa, go away. Stop. Go do your own show, man. He's out. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. We do, from time to time, get trollers and bullies. I used to get them a lot. So, Erica says, I've been calling it the Rano apocalypse. Our family is writing down all the good stuff from growing from the manure. Oh, I love that. Of this situation. Nice, good. I like that, Erica. Rona apocalypse. Rona apocalypse. I like that. That's awesome. All right, Sue. Have a great Monday. All right. Yeah, so if you guys want a song, thank you, April. You truly make a difference. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Marc, thank you again. Hit the nail on the head again. I appreciate so much for what you do. I've grown so much from you. Thanks. I appreciate that. Ari, yeah, Jedi. We have Jedi, and then we have a crow that likes to land. If he comes, I'll point the camera up, but he usually lands right here on the corner. We have a lot of crows, so we call him Cameron. So we've got Cameron Crow, we've got Jedi, we've got a raccoon. What is the raccoon's name? Oh my God, we had a name for him, and I totally am blanking on it. Okay, all right. Okay. So we got to you, Amber. Okay, cool. I'm just catching up on all your comments. All right. Kendra says, I love those butterflies behind you. Happy Monday. Yep. So I wanted to come outside. It's nice here in Seattle. I think I'll wrap there. Just for the fact I've been on for a little bit. Okay, so thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next Monday, Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, which starts at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Intuitive Prospector page. So make sure to turn on your notifications so you get notifications, because I also come on live on surprise shows as well on Facebook Live. Make sure to get on my YouTube channel so you can catch all of my former shows that broadcast at night, but also my podcast, Inspired Living Radio, with some amazing topics and wonderful guests. There's some really interesting shows coming up. You can learn more about my work, what I do, why I do what I do at marclainhart.com, internet search the Intuitive Prospector. You can find me at Best American Psychics, Best Psychic Directory, Ariel Spiritual Community, or FamousPsychicMediums.com. You can also follow me through if you have an Alexa, just ask to open up the Alexa Positive Living app. The Positive Living app will actually give you daily tips if you're looking for spiritual guidance, if you're looking for spiritual inspirations. I'm recording new ones, so if you want to open up that through your Alexa, that's a great way to connect with me. Or just come back and join me for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays and the Healing Cafe, where, again, I come on every Monday morning and just try to put a little light into the world, put a little positivity and vibration out into what we're all going through. And just, celebrate life. Carpe diem, right? That's the thing. Good morning, Diana. How are you? So I think I've caught up to all the comments in the queue, unless somebody else has a question for me. I've got about 10% juice left in my phone, so if you have a question, we'll make it real quick. Happy to answer that for you, do my best. Again, we did have a troller. I do apologize if you got direct message. We don't allow that here in the Healing Cafe. Please do not come back to my page because, well, you've been blocked, so you can't come back. I have to see if that's actually, Colleen, I'll have to see if that actually triggers, based on the show. If it actually blocks them just for this show, or if it blocks them all together. So we'll have to pay attention to that moving forward. So Lainhart says, "Hey, Marc and everyone, I hope you are doing well. Marc, may I please have a numerology card for the week?" Okay, you bet. All right. So I was just speaking about this. Compassion. Be kind, caring, and compassionate. Number 99. So you're coming to an actual cycle of completion. So, embrace that completion. So, purple too, very spiritual color for you. So, that's for Yankee. And thanks for being a top fan. Much love to all my top fans. I appreciate you guys. I honor you. I see you. Colleen, thanks again. Thank you to Rosie and Heidi, if you're on too. Thank you to my team behind the scenes to help me navigate all these trying times and trollers and putting the numbers in for people to call in. Hi, Jess. How are you? Happy Monday. Thanks for making me smile today. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Diana says, "How are you holding up with this craziness?" One day at a time. Lots of breath work. Lots of meditation. Keeping focused on the positivity that this too shall pass, and that we'll have the great coming together. Whether it's at the global scale of the great coming together, or like I said earlier in the show, when I was talking about the full disclosure, element 115, or we finally have proof that there is another species besides human species in this galaxy of ours. Wouldn't that be the great coming together that I saw on a global scale? So thanks for being here, guys. I'm doing okay, just one day at a time. That's all you can do. Stay safe, stay properly informed, watch the news media that you take in, watch the social media you take in, because there's a lot of misinformation, and it's only going to get worse with misinformation based on when we get closer to this election in November. So we've got some trying weeks and months still ahead, but this too shall pass and will emerge as the butterfly. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Hi, Ari. It was nice catching you live this week. Well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, you guys. And again, what I always like to say as I start the music, where's that cool music I had for today? There we go. Be kind, be caring, be compassionate. Whatever soul adventure you're on, carpe diem, seize the day. And I'll see you next week for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, followed with the Healing Cafe. I'll be back on the radio next Wednesday for another show. There's some free giveaways coming up for this next guest, so you'll want to go to Inspired Living Radio and become an Inspired listener, so you can get a free digital book that we're giving away to our listeners. But you got to go through Inspired Living Radio Facebook page to get on that. So guest is coming from Australia, really renowned in what she does, and I hope that you'll join me for that next week. So most importantly, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Namaste.